Ladies and gentlemen, hey. Has anyone of you here wondered how things are the way they are today?
Yes.
Why cities like New York, for example, were built the way they are?
Yeah.
Why and how the languages that we use today came to be? Hello Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite civilizations to talk about. One of my favorite civilizations in history. The Roman civilization. Why specifically the Romans? This is because the Romans lasted for a millennia, and during its period it brought with technological innovations, developments in various types of buildings, as well as the use of language. Who would have known about that? I didn't. So today I am mostly going to talk about how. Today I'm mostly going to talk about and focus on how my curiosity got me to find out how the Romans influenced our modern world. Okay, during my excursion to Kuala Lumpur, which was the last 2 months for some good vibes, I stayed in an Airbnb apartment, and this apartment was surrounded by multiple other apartments of the same kind. And then on the same day, I decided to take a walk amidst the tall buildings that surrounded me. And then I wondered, how on earth did people come up with such an idea to build such skyscraping houses? The curiosity finally got to me. And then I did my research about it, and and then what happened was, I found out that the Romans were the first ones to come up with such an idea. As stated in a study by Glenn, an associate professor at Iowa University in the Department of Anthropology. Now, another thing I found out is that when I did my research, I read a 2019 article on ancient Rome apartments by N.S. Gill, a Master of Arts. He said that the Romans were the first ones to solve the problem of the lack of space in cities by building these vertical houses called insulae. As shown in the slide here. I've prepared a slide, so this is the modern day apartment, and this is a reconstruction of a Roman apartment. And you could see that they both have a similar idea and serves the same purpose for people to live there. And then, they look very, okay. So, sorry, without the Roman inspiration, the buildings we commonly see, such as apartments, wouldn't have existed. Okay, the next one is, has anyone of you here wondered how the Romance languages, such as Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian, and how the English language came to be? I first thought about it when I was daydreaming in my room and procrastinating because I wasn't too keen on doing my homework. I do not know why I randomly thought about it, but the question just popped up in my head. How did the English language came to be? So I decided to do my digging, and what I found out is that without the Latin alphabet, the English language that we know of today would not have existed. This, as stated by Adam Augustine, a Master of Arts, in a 2013 Encyclopedia Britannica article on the Latin alphabet. The English alphabet derives much of its existence from the Latin alphabet, and as stated here. Yeah. And I prepared a comparison as well of the classical Latin alphabet and the English alphabet. So you can see that they are very similar in words, but the only difference is the classical Latin alphabet contains 23 words, while English has 26. So Adam Augustine stated that the I in the classical Latin alphabet is differentiated into I and J in the English language, and the V in the classical Latin alphabet is differentiated into U, V, and W in the English alphabet. So that's why we have 26 words in the English language today. And also, according to a book on the book Loanwords in the World's Languages, a comparative handbook, Martin Haspelmath, a German language, stated that 59% of the English vocabulary today derives much of its existence from the Romance words, which originated from Latin. So although the Latin language is considered a dead language today, it still carries on in the languages that we used to communicate in today. I think it's important to note that the Romans, though a long distance away in time, impacts the way we're living in today. Whether it is in terms of city plannings, such as the apartment idea and the use of language that we used to communicate in the current age that has been passed down to us. So I hope that with this, the importance of history is shown, because without it, how would we understand our origins? How would we understand the languages that we used to communicate in today? How would we understand how things have advanced and progressed to the state that they are in today? And I hope with this, the vitality of the Romans on one world is shown. Thank you very much.